Devils Thanksgiving Thursday. This is The Woo Report. The Woo Report. Episode 420. Oh, that's interesting. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios bunker in an undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey, enjoying an and Crew brew. And Crew brew, make winning memories together, one crew at a time. As everyone is filing in, X Live, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitch, on the Let's Go Devils Network. A little bit of Devils hockey talk. I spared you a morning woo after that debacle, disaster last night at the Pizza Arena in Detroit. But I'll tell you, I'm encouraged by what I'm hearing and reading in the media of what Lindy Ruff talked about. Courage. I thought he was right when he was talking about courage. And let's back up 4 years, maybe 4 or 5 years, since we've done this podcast. We talk about beef. Give me the beef, says Nick Villano of pucksandpitchforks.com. Give me the beef. Oh, my goodness, invented beefalytics. Now, there's salalytics. There's a lot of lytics, right? Trying to quantify a metric of what the Devils need. But we talk about size, accountability, responding back. We talk about all of it. And last night, we saw none of it. Hence, an old yeller type of game where the streak has ended, where the Devils have scored at least one or more goals per game. Ends at 102, something like that. Doesn't matter. It's gone. It's behind the barn. It's been put down because the Devils did not show up last night. The forwards, the defense, and I'll go easy on the goaltending, Vitek Vanacek, because he had to deal with a lot. The Devils couldn't even muster shots on goal in the third period against the Detroit Red Wings. Not good. Peter Seifert says, happy Thanksgiving, Sam, by God, Woo, and Mrs. Woo. Joseph Lenham, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Ramona as well, happy Thanksgiving. Codex 100 says, Lindy needs courage to sit Brandon Chicken Nugget Smith. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I gotta do that Photoshop at some point. Peter Seaver says, beef on defense. You can't let Muggsy Bogues push you around. Yes, Muggsy Bogues, a 5'4" point guard back in the day in the NBA. Paul, good friend Paul in the Facebook Live. Hello, Stacey White. But Paul says, and the black helmets with white jerseys look like trash. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Stacey White. A happy Devil's Thanksgiving. Enjoying it with a little bit of an and Crew brew. Brandon, who requested the beer, send me a message if you're listening right now how that beer was, the and Crew brew. All right, so let's talk about courage. Let's talk about courage. And this is what we've been talking about for a long time, but only a coach can assess it. And I think Lindy Ruff is spot on with his assessment, which gives me encouragement that the coaching staff knows what we're seeing. And he said this following the game and in practice. It says there's a lot of different places where you have to show that, meaning courage. Ruff explained. Courage is blocking shots. Courage is getting in and taking a hit to protect the puck. Courage is the willingness to dig in and back check when maybe you think you're tired. There's all kind of levels of courage inside the game that you have to experience. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. As a group, we didn't respond to the adversity we had in the game. One play led to one more bad play, which led to another one, and we took ourselves right out of the game. I think he was referring in the first period where the Red Wings scored 3 goals in about, 2.5 minutes, something like that. And I've been on record. I've been on record on this podcast that there were times, not so much last season, this team was a bunch of wimps. You got to have courage in the NHL. You've got to make sacrifices. They've got to learn from Andre Palat what his approach to the game. And I know he gets a lot of criticism, but Andre Palat works his butt off. Whether he gets results or not, he works his butt off. And the rest of the team has to have that mentality of courage if they want to win. We talk about Jack Hughes, and I've made references to this. When Jack Hughes is pissed off, he's got that junkyard dog mentality. Jack Hughes, he's a better player. And right now, he's urging the team to sharpen up. He's urging the team to get at it. But even Jack Hughes is not immune to all this. And last night, the Devils got shut out by the Red Wings. By a backup goalie or whatever. Not good. But courage. Remember that when I talked about Patrice Bergeron, Stanley Cup Finals? He was banged up. And then after that, Game 7, find out he's playing with a collapsed lung, broken ribs, torn rotator cuff. I don't know. I'm just making up injuries, but that's what it was like. But he still played because he was a leader of the team. Every New Jersey Devil needs to have courage and be a leader. You can't just lean on Andre Palat. He is part of the solution. And the Devils need to hit that hard reset button. And I hope they didn't feed them and coddle them today on Thanksgiving. Because they should be thankful that they have practice today to kind of work things out. Because you've got back-to-back games at the Rock in front of the home fans, which should be winnable against the BJs tomorrow. Game day live, 2 p.m. Eastern. Beer Baron will be there at American Whiskey and Devils After Dark. And also on Saturday, I'll be there at American Whiskey for the Devils take on the Buffalo Sabres. Be there with Rebecca Morris and Tara Hoffman, former NWHL, players, PHF, talking puck, talking hockey grit, which is what we're talking right now, about courage. It's a big part of the game. Missed assignments, allowing the opposing team to dictate the pace of the game. The Detroit Red Wings just toyed with the Devils. Just toyed with them. And we know that what's frustrating is we know the Devils are better. But as Tom Fitzgerald is going to look for personnel changes and looking to shake things up potentially, I've been calling out Dougie Hamilton. Is he worth the $9 million a year? Is he worth it? It's an honest question. Do I like Dougie Hamilton? Of course I do. I love his offensive side, especially on the power play. But guess what? Luke Hughes, he's the man right now. He's exceeded a lot of our expectations as a rookie. We thought he was the weakest link just because of the lack of experience. But my goodness, Luke Hughes is looking very good. And I hope he continues that trend. As the Devils are only 17 games into the season. But courage is a prerequisite to winning the Stanley Cup. Isn't that the goal? You got to find and dig in. Lindy Ruff is right. You got to be comfortable of being uncomfortable. We've seen those moments in the playoffs, other teams, like the Vegas Golden Knights. Their captain banged up, but still willing his team, even though then when they were down in the earlier rounds, getting in the Stanley Cup Finals, the Vegas Golden Knights are the Stanley Cup champions because they wanted it more. They absolutely wanted it more. Steve Engel says Bala ain't worth 6 and Dougie ain't worth 9. I think that's a fair statement. $15 million of cap space that the Devils could use right now to improve that blue line. Steve Engel says Jack is severely underpaid. I want to say severely underpaid. He is injury prone. I know they were freak accidents. But the Devils need Jack Hughes all day, all night, 24/7. Because he's the leader of the team. But yeah, I didn't really, the helmets yesterday was a little off. But Jack Hughes wants to win a cup here. Jack Hughes wants to solidify his legacy. He's doing everything he can. Which, by the way, in other news, just kind of discouraging news, Taylor Hall, former Hart Trophy winner with the New Jersey Devils, out for the season, knee surgery. My. Just think, be thankful that the Devils didn't give him a big fat contract when they were negotiating years ago. But I feel bad for Taylor Hall. I hope he gets better. He was really brought in to mentor Connor Bedard of the Chicago Blackhawks. All right, well, just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Just wanted to talk about courage, talk a little bit of Beefalytics. But we got Game Day Live tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, for the Devils take on the BJs. Matinee game at The Rock. Beer Baron will be at American Whiskey at 2 p.m. Eastern. Say hello to him. Also, Devils After Dark, Scotty and I will recap the game that was. Hopefully, it will be a happy Devils Friday. And then Saturday, Devils take on the Buffalo Sabres, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be doing Game Day Live at 6 p.m. Eastern at American Whiskey. I will be there. Yes, me, Sam Wu, having an Ant Crew brew. Get those towers. We've got a dozen towers, and it's great value. Great to have Ant Crew brew before the game. Ted's asking, Friday morning, Wu? I'm not sure, Ted. Ted, text me when you're going to be at the games because I just want to make sure that I got my scheduling right. But yeah. All right. Dropping the podcast at midnight. Thank you. Heading out now. Getting ready for more Devils hockey. Yes, Ted says I need some Ant Crew brew. Yes, the Ant Crew brew promotional tour schedule will be coming out soon. Very soon. We got the Rangers Suck Fortune Cookie Night on January 6th. We got the Fan Appreciation Tailgate February 17th at MetLife Stadium. We'll have more details on that. Possible Garden Invasion. Oh, Arizona and Vegas, March 16th and 17th. We booked our flights. And let me just tell you, row 40 is going to be a disaster of us in the back of the plane. As we dream one day of having a private jet, take you, the fans, to the other opposing team's building, taking it over, and come out victorious as we celebrate winning memories together, one crew at a time, and Crew Brew. All right, heading out. Till next time, this is the Woo Report. Let's go, Devils.